Okay, thank you very much. Welcome everyone to the Joint Archive Board on Wednesday, the 5th of February 2005. I'm just going to, before we start the meeting, hand over to Josh just to give a brief overview for anyone watching as to why this meeting is being carried out online.
Yeah, so as an advisory board, the Joint Archives Board have the provision to hold meetings online or hybridly with the kind of discretion of the chair. And so because of the light agenda today, we've gone for an online meeting rather than in person.
Thank you very much, Josh. So starting with the agenda, item 1 on our agenda this afternoon is apologies. Do we have any apologies for absence?
No apologies today.
Apologies. Okay, so do we all agree that's noted? There's no indication otherwise, I should take that accepted. That's accepted. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 2, declaration of interest. Do we have any declarations of interest? No? Okay, as always, if any members do have any declarations of interest that occur during the meeting, just raise your hand and let us know. Moving on to item 3 are the minutes of the last meeting held on the 13th of November. And I'm asking you to agree that the minutes are a true and accurate record. Is there any comments on those minutes?
No, agreed.
No. All agreed. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 4, public participation. There has been no public questions submitted, so we shall move on to item 5, which are questions from members. And once again, there's been no pre-notified questions from councillors. Item 6, urgent items, and there are no urgent items, so it moves us on to item 7, our first substantive item of business, which is the budget and service update report, and I'm going to hand over to Sam Johnson, the service manager for Archives Records, to present the report. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, as Josh mentioned, it's a fairly light agenda today, just the one report, just a single set of information for you. The primary item of interest, I guess, is the budget, which you'll recall from our last meeting on the 13th of November 2024. There was a recommendation to enhance the budget in 2025-26. Next year, in other words, next financial year, and that's detailed in section 2 of this report with the relevant figures for each council and the total sum for the revenue budget for the service. So that forms the first recommendation within the report. The rest of the report, which I had no further comment to add other than that was the previous recommendation, and it's laid before you again for your decision. Moving through the rest of the report, which is really just for general information and update since we last met, just wanted to inform members that the work on the capital project, the scheme to increase storage capacity here at the Dorset History Centre, has moved forward. Excuse me. Pleased to say, with our new principal archivist with us, we've now started to put together a project plan, re-engaged with our colleagues in the property services part of Dorset Council, and we expect to be submitting an expression of interest to the National Lottery Heritage Fund in February, this month, for their consideration. I think they have a 4-week, 20-day turnaround time, after which we would hope to be given clearance to move forward with a full application to lottery later this year, 2025. You'll see from paragraph 3.1, we are filling up with a surprising rate. We had 250 boxes of material in just before Christmas. So the remaining minus less than 5% storage capacity is diminishing at a relatively quick rate. Section 4 of the report details the activities that the service, along with a good body of volunteers, undertook during the collections fortnight, as it's termed, the closure period that happened just before Christmas in early December. I hope you can see there's some really positive work was undertaken, both in terms of reorganising collections for better access, the complete reorganisation of our document reception area, which is long overdue and has yielded some really excellent results in terms of more efficient use of space, and the accessioning of new material, 50 new accessions. That's collections of records that have come in, have been processed and are now available for consumption or access, at least online. And there's a blog there for anyone interested in seeing more of the detail around what actually happened. We hope to do another one of these collections fortnights later this year, December time, which is our quietest public access period. Moving on to section 5, just some short updates there for you on activities that have taken place within the service, mainly relating to projects since we last met. Just in terms of the Hardy project, which you're aware of, that's the cataloguing of the archives of Thomas Hardy, really positive step forward in terms of its status, led by Dorset Museum, but with close support from ourselves. It's passed the first stage of the designation process. That's the Arts Council England process, by which collections of outstanding nature are given their due sort of accolade. It's a two-stage process. It's very competitive and not easy to achieve, but should it be successful, and we hope to support the museum in its second stage bid later this year, then it will be a real feather in the cap, I think. As you'll see there, the only other collection in the county which is designated is that at the Tank Museum. I'll selectively pick out from section 5. Work on our yellow buses and Wessex Water project has now started with the project Archivist in Post. Really good news that one's moved forward, and that work will continue until the end of March 2027 on a part-time basis. And section 5.4, kind of related, is more external funding that we've managed to secure. Will be a total of £22,000, which can be gift aided, has been gift aided through Dorset Archives Trust, to allow us to work on a fairly substantial estate archive, the owners of which have decided they want to support this work. We will be going out to other substantial collection owners with a similar suggestion to them that they might wish to invest in the same way, because it does hugely enhance the benefit of having the collections here. Public access is infinitely better. So that was really pleasing, and we hope to appoint an archivist at some point later this year to undertake that work. And just this week, actually, we've received a small but very useful grant of £7,500 from the Valentine Trust towards work that will take place on the William Barnes archive. That's a project that's jointly sponsored by the Barnes Society with the Dorset Archives Trust. So we're approaching 2/3 of our total on that funding total of around £35,000. Another really positive bit of news to pass on. 5.5, just to report, I think I probably grumbled a little at the last meeting around the extended building works here at Dorset History Centre. No one's fault particularly, but the scaffolding, which is still in place, is still there. However, positive news is that we're assured by the contractors that work will be completed by the end of April 25 this year, in other words, and removed, and the car park will be returned to public use, which will be a great relief after all this time. 5.6, and again, it sounds like I didn't deliberately put all this good news into one report, but it feels that way a little. Some really positive news from again through the Arts Council, the Acceptance in Lieu scheme that they run, which is the means by which people with inheritance tax obligations can gift items of cultural value to the nation. And the archives of Sandford Orcus, which is known to some of you, I'm sure, just north of Sherborne. A really interesting little collection relating to the manor and estate there, including a lovely estate map of 1702, has been gifted to the public collection here at Dorset History Centre in perpetuity. So we're really grateful to that, and we've written to the minister concerned to thank them for that coming to us. Just finally there in 5.7, a short update on the work that we've been doing with the two congregations in Bournemouth around their archives. Some really good progress has been made. An excellent scoping report funded by Rothschild. The Rothschild Foundation was undertaken before Christmas with a consultant who we shared that with the congregations throughout. They were very pleased with the results of the work, and we're now moving forward with a potential second small grant from Rothschild, which I spoke to them about this week, which would allow us to actually secure the collections and transfer them to Dorset History Centre, with a potential third stage to fully catalogue them in the future with more public engagement work. So that's been really positive, and we hope to move forward with that with haste, because one of the congregation's concern is actually moving premises in May, so there's no time to waste. And that concludes the report. Obviously very happy to answer any questions. Councillor Beddoe.
Okay, Councillor Hope.
Is that all right, Chair? I think you're on mute.
I did the schoolboy error there, didn't I? Yes.
Yeah,
apologies for that. So just to repeat it for those that can't lip read, I was saying thank you very much, Sam, for that report. And over to Councillor Beddoe for the first question, please.
Thank you, Councillor Hope. It's not a question, it's something I say every one of these, and I probably said it in November, I can't remember, but I just want to say thank you to Sam and the team, because the raise in funds that is requested is extremely conservative with a small c when you compare it to the pressures that a lot of the budgets are under. And I just think you know this is a team that should be congratulated on self-funding and keeping their costs down, and they're generally brilliant cost management. So I think the 7 odd grand for DC and 9 odd for BCP is, in the context of our enormous budgets, really quite a low sum to ask for. So I just think that's brilliant, and all the good news to be saved up for the meeting that the service requests a tiny more money is a very good tactic, Sam, I think. But no, seriously, it's really, I always love hearing about what the History Centre has done and what the Archives Service has done. It's brilliant work, and it's so interesting, and it's stuff that people that just don't realise that councils do, and you do it in a very parsimonious way for the money that we give you. So I'm really grateful. So it was a comment, Chair. Apologies, not a question, but thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Beddoe. I'm sure we all support those words. Next on the list to speak, I've got Councillor Dedman.
Yes, thanks. Can you hear me all right? Good. Yeah. It's a question, Sam, because obviously, having read the report, I thought, oh, I don't recognise that name. So I looked up Sandford Orcus, and there's loads about it, but no explanation of why it's called after a whale, Orcus. So I'm sure you'll know with the archive coming to you.
I'm going to profess acute ignorance here, Councillor Dedman, and have to say I'll consult my book of English place names and I'll get back to you if that's all right.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, we have Chris. Chris Fowler.
Thank you. So to introduce myself, some of you have probably met me before. I'm chair of Dorset Archives Trust. So we very much support the Dorset History Centre, and it strikes me just how much work Sam does with his staff, all the good news we've heard this time, echoing what Councillor Beddoe said, and also from the last meeting. The History Centre is all about people. It's all about the people in Sam's team. Archives by themselves are fantastic things, but without the people to do the work, and the work that Sam does with the outreach, with the tremendous advocacy that the team do, it wouldn't be drawing in such amazing results. So the Dorset Archives Trust, we're incredibly proud of all the things that Sam and his team do, but I would absolutely make the point it's all about the people, and without the team that Sam has, they couldn't do literally half the work that they do. That is so important.
No, thank you very much. And again, I'm sure we'll echo those words and thoughts. Great work's done by the team there. Okay, I can't see anyone else indicating to speak, so I'm going to move now to a proposer and seconder. So for those following us online or members of the public watching this back, the recommendation can be found on page 9 of our agenda today. And I'm now seeking a proposer, please. Councillor Beddow, you were quick with a hand there. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Martin, thank you very much. So we now have the proposer and seconder. We shall move to the vote if there's no further comments. All those in favour? It's probably easier on online to say those against. And any abstentions? That is carried. So once again, Sam, thank you very much for all your efforts. I think from the comments made today and from the previous meeting, we're all very pleased to support that and recognise the great work you do along with your team. And again, a relatively small team to do everything you do at the centre. Councillor Beddow, did you want to add anything? You've got your hand up.
Yeah, just in case anyone's watching and they really wanted to know, I just Googled Orcus and Wikipedia says it's from the Norman family name Oroscules. There you go.
Oh, so
Okay.
you have a different Google to mine, Laura, because I naturally Googled. Oh, right. So there we go.
Yeah,
Thank you. So,
Oroscules. There you go.
so nothing to do with Wales then. Thank you.
No, brilliant. Okay then, saved you a bit of homework there, Sam. We now move on to item 8, which is exempt business, and there is no exempt business. So at 17 minutes past 2, I formally close the meeting, and thank you everyone for your attendance.